Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mole Trap here, coming at you with another game from the MSL Offline Preliminaries. And before this game does get started, by the way, this is going to be Backho versus 815, and I'll talk about them in a minute. But I kind of wanted to bring something up here. I was talking to my brother about the fact that I was going to be going to Korea and everything, wasn't I?
That's right. He was talking to me about going to Korea, and I reminded him that he doesn't have a job and can't afford a ticket to Korea. So, I am here to ask you to help a brother out, specifically my brother Moletrap. Hopefully, by the time he uploads this video and you are watching this video, if everything goes according to plan, assuming he's listened to me, he will have a donate button somewhere on his user page, somehow allowing you, the listener, to give him money so that he can go to Korea and come back with lots of fun stories about Korea, because I don't see him getting to Korea any other way right now.
Okay, that was a little
By the way,
cheap.
this is a dual commentary.
Yeah, by the way, I'm going to be casting this game with my brother alongside Barefootedwonder. That sounded a little bit cheesy, but to be completely honest, it was actually his idea. And he did bring up the good point that, if people, I mean, some people, basically, one of the other reasons why I'm thinking about taking donations is because some people have actually been, like, begging me to do it, like, asking me, like, hey, what the heck, why don't you have a way to donate? I'm like, I'm sorry. He brings up a good point that if I do get some donations, then I'll actually be able to go to Korea and or stay longer in Korea, and or hopefully I'm actually hoping I can buy a cheap video camera before I go to Korea as well, so that way I can like take videos of like live events at Pro League and stuff like that. So actually bring it back and actually make it hopefully something meaningful on YouTube. So, anyways, yes, I'm officially asking for people to donate money to me. Now, that said, I'm not expecting anyone to at all. If you don't, I really don't care at all. But some people have already been like begging me to accept donations, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my PayPal information on my YouTube page. And if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, then you don't have to, and that's perfectly fine. That said, this is Backho versus 815, and it should be a very interesting match. This is Backho's return! The return of Backho! It's like the long-lost farming implement has returned once again to dig dirt. Um, and oh man, Backho is a little rusty, letting his probe get killed by drones. That is a little unfortunate. But anyway, Backho, if you hadn't heard, he hurt his back, ironically. Um, he
That is
fell or
ironic.
something. I don't remember what happened to him exactly, but he hurt his back and couldn't play StarCraft for a while. I think he might have even had to get some surgery. It was actually somewhat serious. So he was not playing for a while, and now he's back. Oh, sorry, the Backho jokes just don't get old. And actually, several Zerglings coming for A15, and Backho needs to do something to block these, otherwise he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's putting down his Nexus now, but he needs to get something to block that gap. Probably a gateway. He needs to get it down pretty soon, though. Although A15, I don't know if he's planning on a run by. He doesn't seem to be getting a ton of Zerglings. He doesn't actually seem to be sending reinforcements, so he's not planning to go for any sort of risky run by or anything like that. Anyway, sorry. I want to let my brother get a word in here, too, but basically, I just wanted to explain, since I didn't think that he knew, that Backho is now back, and this is the MSL Offline Preliminaries. It's the first time that he's really been playing since his injury, and he's already in the finals of his MSL Offline Preliminary group. This is actually the final set. Now, 815 is up 1-0, so Backho still has to win 2 games in a row to advance into the MSL, but, yeah. Anyway, with that, once again, welcome again to my brother Barefootedwonder of the fame of the famous line, "Zealots have psi blades," and amongst other classic lines. Welcome again to another dual commentary. We've been meaning to do this for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while now. It was, I believe, came highly requested.
A lot of people did like it the last time you were on. This is kind of interesting. 815. By the way, 815. He's a kind of a decent Zerg. He still has to kind of prove himself to really be considered spectacular or a star or anything like that. But he's taken drones off of gas now, so we may be actually seeing him go for some kind of a timing attack where he just gets a crap ton of Zerglings and attacks, or something like that. But he's got a lair now, and now he's got drones back on gas, so I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. It's a little bit unusual. Maybe he just wanted to get a lot of minerals to get some expansions going on. Anyway, so yeah, how have you been doing lately, Barefootedwonder? I'm sure all of our listeners are curious to hear of your adventures.
Not many adventures as of yet. I had a few videos taken down because of copyright violation due to music. So yeah, my most favorited video of Firebat Hero dancing to Too Sexy got taken down, but I kind of got it back up again. Just don't pay too close attention to it.
What? What do you mean don't pay too close attention to it?
Well, if you watch the video, it'll have the wrong music, but there's a link to download the original in my comments.
Right. Yeah, it was a funny video. It was
just don't tell YouTube.
Yeah, don't tell YouTube he's using music again. Well, did you do like the audio swap thing, or did you just like put another?
Yeah, I had to do audio swap.
Okay. It was pretty funny. Backho, Firebat Hero, of course, famous for his pelvic thrusts and what have you. So my brother went and put I'm too sexy for their body. Whatever that song was.
And let me respond to the comments in the video right now. Yes, we're going to start talking about the game very soon. Don't worry. So don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. Well, it's kind of. Well, it's funny because sometimes people.
Now you feel silly for already commenting, don't you? You already put that comment up, didn't you? Asking us to get back to the game.
Well, people on YouTube can now remove their own user comments if they want, so maybe they removed it already. Anyway, it's funny because sometimes people will comment to say like, oh, you need to talk less about what's going on and obvious on screen. It's so obvious because we can see it on screen, so talk more about the strategy. And then, like, if I do that and I miss something that's on screen, people will be like, oh, you totally missed this. You didn't talk about how the probes got killed. And it's like, well, make up your mind. And also, you saw that the probes got killed, didn't you? So, obviously, you didn't miss it. Anyway, that's one of the things I've learned I've actually been commentating for like a year and a half now, is that you can never please everyone, so, whatever. Anyway, first, Corsair going down, and that is kind of an interesting point, actually. And 815 is really getting his base set up really nicely. I really like it when Zerg set up that third base on the right, and then put up a sunken colony behind their buildings, and it makes it really hard to get in there if he does some kind of a zealot timing push or something along those lines. But he does have High Templar out, so we're getting to the point where the Backho's starting to build up a huge ball of units, and once he gets a few storms in there, it'll be really difficult for the Zerg to break it. But anyway, the other video that I think is great on Barefootedwonder's account is he made this video where there was this game between Lomo and Cal, where Cal came out with carriers and Lomo was completely shocked by it, and he showed his face and he was like all dramatic and everything. So Barefootedwonder put dramatic music behind it. It really works perfectly.
My girlfriend doesn't understand what's dramatic about his facial expressions. She doesn't understand that for a StarCraft player, that is a very dramatic facial expression.
Right. She doesn't understand that most StarCraft players don't even flinch when they've been stabbed in the leg. So for Lomo to widen his eyes slightly and chew his gum slightly more rapidly is a huge, huge show of emotion for a pro gamer. See, look at this. He can't get. He's got 2 Archons and 4 Zealots, and he can't get in there because the buildings are all in the way of the sunken colony. Anyway, what do you say?
Yeah, it seems to be a pretty good defense right there to keep ground units out, as long as he doesn't get any shuttles, bring them in there.
That's true. Doesn't look like, I don't know if he even has a robotics facility right now, which could be risky because he's going for mass Hydra, but with all these Zealots on the ground, I wouldn't be surprised if he's researching Lurker tech, since Lurker's really good against Zealots and Archons, especially when there's no observers around. And he doesn't have a lot of High Templar around. He kind of had to make Archons because